What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bridging the Geekdoms. I'm your host, Robert Slavinsky, and hey, today's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. How's it going? I wanted to discuss things. I wanted to have something to talk about today, but for some odd reason, I just couldn't get it to come up with any specific one topic to talk about today. So I decided to just jump on and just kind of discuss a whole bunch of things that are going on in the world of pop culture right now. And Cool the puppy, little birthday wishes, I'm guessing there. Thank you very much. But how's it going? Jump into the chat. Let's talk about some of these things that are going on. We have Zack Snyder's Justice League coming in a couple months. We got confirmation from Kevin Feige that Deadpool will be in the MCU, will be rated R. However, it looks like it's not going to be coming to fruition, at least Deadpool 3, until at least 2022, where they would film, and probably wouldn't even be released until 2023. So jump into comments, talk about that. If you're a hockey fan like I am, Pittsburgh Penguins, what's going on? Woo! Season starts tomorrow. If you want to talk about that, jump in the comments. I'm up to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. So definitely jump in. But I will find some things to discuss and talk about. I do want to talk about. Well, we'll start with the Deadpool stuff. That's what we'll do. We'll start with the Deadpool stuff here, because I thought it was pretty interesting that, as they're promoting WandaVision, which comes out in just a few days, Kevin Feige's out promoting WandaVision, and he gets asked and about Deadpool, and he discusses what's going on with Deadpool, and I thought it was phenomenal that it was brought up. And let me see if the page wants to load. All right, so I'm going to bring it up. Feige confirms Deadpool now part of the MCU. Absolutely exciting news. It will be rated or R-rated or rated R, and we're working on a script right now, and Ryan's overseeing a script right now. It will not be filming this year. Ryan is a very busy, very successful actor. We've got a number of things we've already announced that we now have to make, but it's exciting for it to have begun. Again, a very different type of character in the MCU, and Ryan is a force of nature, which is just awesome to see him bring that character to life. Absolutely exciting. I cannot wait to see Deadpool in the MCU. It's going to be interesting how they weave him through everything here, because when you think about it, honestly, think about it. He is very raunchy. He is very... just R-rated, and we're getting an R-rated version of Deadpool in the MCU, and that's fantastic. But it's going to be interesting to see how they implement him into the MCU proper. Everything that is going on right now with that. Let's see here. What else do I got? Speaking of which, now I kind of want to continue this Deadpool stuff here. Again, I apologize. This is a little off the cuff episode today, because today's my birthday. Being it's my birthday, I just kind of was like, I don't want to sit down and really think of anything and put anything together, but I really wanted to get a stream out, and there was a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about. I just couldn't get it all secluded or singular into one thing that I wanted to talk about. So I figured, hey, let's just talk about it all. So that's what we're doing. But continuing the Deadpool stuff here, as you can see over in our rumorverse at spoilerverse.com, could Deadpool join the MCU in Doctor Strange 2? Now, since Disney acquired 20th Century Fox in 2019, fans have been clamoring at the bit to figure out how and when characters such as Deadpool, Wolverine, and Fantastic Four will be introduced into the MCU proper. Now, I wrote this article back on November 9th, 2020. The rumorverse states, sources claim that Ryan Reynolds will have a small cameo within the upcoming MCU film Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It is said it will be in a limited capacity, showing his inappropriate behavior in a way that is suitable for a typical Marvel film. This will pave the way for further adventures with Deadpool, doing short cameo appearances throughout the rest of the entire MCU while retaining his R-rated films for his solo outings. That was back on November 9th. Now we're getting told that, yes, Deadpool will be rated R. They're working on a script. It's coming. That's all fantastic. It's all exciting. It's all good. I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it. Here's the thing. That doesn't mean we're not going to see Deadpool prior to that next Deadpool film. And the fact that this whole multiverse aspect is taking place, and again, this is a lot bigger than what a lot of people really understand, and I try to push it to everybody to understand. It's not just about the Spider-Verse and Toby Maguire or Andrew Garfield. It's not just about them. It's also very much so about expanding the entirety of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into being more than just what we've seen. We still need to get the mutants in there. How are we going to get the mutants in? Fantastic Four we know is coming. That's a little easier to bring into the realm of the MCU. That's a little easier to do because their backstory isn't from the history books. It doesn't go back to World War II or further back to Egyptian times. No, the X-Men, yes. So that's going to be a little more difficult to squeeze in there. And Deadpool's part of he's a mutant. I mean, he's part of he's an X-Men. He's a mutant. We'll go that route. So how are they going to get them implemented in? Deadpool being that doorway, Deadpool being that first mutant that true mutant to be introduced into the MCU proper is, I think, the best way to do it. And doing so, utilizing the multiverse that is going to be explored in Doctor Strange 2 is, I think, the best way to do that. Now, I am upset and I'm still disappointed that they're changing directions. I'm a fan of Sam Raimi, so I'm excited and interested to see what he will bring to Doctor Strange into the MCU. However, I am a little upset that we're not going the route of the horror film that they were going to do. I was really, really looking forward to that. It's the Truth 31. Happy birthday, man. Thank you very much. Again, it's kind of an off-the-cuff episode here. If you want to, throw some questions up and discuss some things, please do. So, Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange 2, I think, is going to be a huge catalyst, a huge component in introducing a plethora of characters. I really believe it's going to do the same thing that happened with, or what that DC is trying to do. They're going to try and find all of Marvel films, whether it's Blade from 1990, 97, 98, 99, somewhere around there, Spider-Man from 2001, or The Amazing Spider-Man, or the Hulk that came out with Eric Bana. I think all of that can be encapsulated in some form or fashion within the multiverse that they are going to explore. However, they are going to pick and choose which aspects they want to bring into it. Similar to what DC's doing, yet slightly different. And I think the reason why they're doing it that way is because they need to expand, they need to build, and they weren't able to utilize the mutants until recently. So I think that's why they're going to have to go this route. That's the only way that they're going to be able to continue forward and build with these characters that they've just gotten back from other studios. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Again, head over to spoilerverse.com. You'll see a whole bunch more in regards to Deadpool. We've talked a good bit about it, when writers were hired and what's going on with that. And make sure you stay tuned, because we will talk more about it as we move forward. I do want to take a second here. Actually, hold on. Truth actually has something. Let's bring that up. Speaking of the multiverse, do you have any concerns for the Flash film? Do you think it can really mess up the DCEU if done incorrectly? Actually, that was my next thing. I wanted to move over to DC, but the Flash film is interesting. I think it was the Muschietis the other day posted on social media. I should have pulled it up here. They were each wearing socks. One was wearing Reverse Flash, one was wearing the Flash, and people were thinking, they're taking that as Reverse Flash will be in the Flash film, which I think is it's expected. There's no reason why they shouldn't be adding the Flash in some form or fashion. Hopefully they just utilize him better than the CW show did. But getting to the multiverse side of it, if it's done incorrectly, yes, it can screw everything up. But here's what people need to realize. And this was brought up in a comment on my latest, or my YouTube video from yesterday, where I discussed when the Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer would drop. And people still don't have an understanding of what has kind of transpired with Warner Brothers and DC in regards to the content that we're going to be taking in. No longer is there one solid timeline universe in DC. That went out the window quite a while ago. Joker, that is its own thing. That's it. You can love it, you can hate it, you can do whatever you want with it. And even with them talking about, the potential and the idea of a sequel, that's going to be its own thing. It's over there. You have Matt Reeves' Batman. That's over here doing its own thing. You have the Snyderverse doing its own thing. Now, where does the Flash fit into all that? Well, here's the thing. The Flash is the one that's going to connect everything together and explain that it's all multiverse. That doesn't mean that when you branch off of it, that you have to that you have to enjoy it, that you have to be committed to it, because there's always avenues for DC or Warner Brothers to then go. So, for instance, Wonder Woman 84, very divisive film in reception. There's people that love it. There's people that hate it. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of like, hey, it was a movie. It was a movie. But it wasn't what I wanted it to be, and it wasn't as good as I thought it could be. It wasn't as bad as I'm glad it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But they can course correct Wonder Woman with Wonder Woman 3, completely change and do everything. Now they're talking about a trilogy of movies with Wonder Woman with Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot. Does that mean Gal Gadot's done as Wonder Woman? Well, you can't say yes or no to that, because they could get another director and they can continue on. Or they could say, you know what? We're done with Gal Gadot. We're going to get another Wonder Woman over here in this timeline, in this multiverse aspect, or this side of things. Now, Gal Gadot could pop up still at any time. There's no reason why she couldn't be Wonder Woman when Zack Snyder gets to complete his arc. Gal Gadot's going to be the Wonder Woman there, just like Ben Affleck will be the Batman there. So this Flash movie, could it really mess up the DCEU? Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think it could really mess up is just making it confusing, maybe a little too convoluted for the casual fan. But Hamada, love him or hate him, he's talking about, look, we're going to have 2 Batman series going on at one time. I think people are smart. He thinks people are smart enough to understand that. And I do too. I think people can understand that. And I hope they can, because that's exciting. It's truly exciting to see, because I want to see what they do with Robert Pattinson. Like, I think he's going to be phenomenal. I like him as an actor. Twilight be damned. Screw Twilight. But everything he's done since then, I've enjoyed what I've seen. So I want to see what they do with that. Would I love to see them do a Michael Keaton Batman or Batman Beyond? Absolutely. I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to see that. Do I think they're going to replace Ben Affleck with Michael Keaton? No. Ben Affleck is Snyder's Batman. That is the Snyderverse Batman. If and when the Snyderverse ever continues, you're not going to get Michael Keaton replacing Affleck in that. It would be Affleck playing Batman in the Snyderverse. Keaton, if they utilize him past the Flash movie, will be his own thing, continuing his story from 1989's Batman Returns, jumping up to the Flash, and wherever it goes from there. So can this Flash movie screw up the DCEU? I mean, any movie can screw up any franchise, really, if you think about it. But I don't think that this movie specifically, what is on my shirt here? I don't think this movie here, yeah, it's attractive, will screw anything up, really. I don't. I just don't see it doing that, or this movie screwing up the franchise, DCU, what have you. I just think it's going to open it up for so much more. Even though it's already been open, I don't think people are going to really understand that it's open until the Flash movie. Because, between now and when the Flash comes out, you have the Suicide Squad, you have Zack Snyder's Justice League, you have the Batman, and I think I'm missing something there. But you have those movies in that series coming out. you have that coming out, and here's the thing. People are going to ask, who's this Batman? Where does he fit? This Suicide Squad. I mean, I see some of the same characters from the other Suicide Squad movie, but is this Suicide Squad part of that Batman universe? There's going to be questions, and I don't think it's going to be until the Flash movie that it really gets understood. Shun Life, the Flash movie, maybe can screw up the DCEU. Maybe. I mean, let me know. Tell me why you think it could screw it up. What is it that could happen in this Flash movie that could completely screw it up for you? Like, that's what I want to know. I want to know what could screw it up for you, because in my eyes, there's more of a chance of it succeeding and helping the DCEU than there is in it hurting the DCEU. Yeah, and for me, I mean, I'm a huge Flash fan. And I do have to give credit to the CW Flash for being the catalyst in getting me into Flash. I knew of Flash. I was a fan of Flash prior to the show, but I was a fan of Wally West, and that was because of the cartoons. It was the Justice League cartoons. It wasn't until CW's show that I was like, holy crap, there's so much more when it comes to the Flash. Barry Allen, I almost said Alan Scott, Barry Allen, and that's a Green Lantern, by the way. Bart Allen, all that stuff. I mean, I can't think right now, but there's so much more to the Flash. So I don't want them to screw up the character. I don't want them to screw up the lore. I want to see them build. I want the Flash to be this villain who is just constantly there. I don't want them to do the typical superhero film thing where they take a villain, use him for one movie, and kill him off, and we never see him again. I think whoever they get for the Flash, I think they need to sit there and say, you know what, you are signed on. We're planning on doing X amount of movies with Flash. You are signed on for at least that many. And whether he pops up in those films or not, that's up to the directors, the writers, the studio. But they should not kill him off. I think that there is what I'm more afraid of when it comes to the Flash movie than them screwing up the DCEU. Because the DCEU, I think, is only going to get stronger from this. That's what makes sense. All these cameos that have been rumored for the Flash film have not been confirmed, so I think the panicking for people is a little premature. Absolutely truth. Thank you for saying that. There's a lot of cameos that are rumored. We know two that are definitely going to be in it. And I don't even think Keaton has technically been confirmed, but Affleck has. Ben Affleck has been confirmed to pop up in the Flash film. Keaton has yet to be confirmed by the studio or even by Keaton. I know that he was talking the one day. I think he was on like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, something like that. And he was just like, yeah, there's been discussions. That's about it. Yeah, he didn't really say much about that, and there's not been confirmation. However, the concept art shows that, and I think Muschietti's actually brought up Keaton's name, but there's not been any solid, like, Michael Keaton will be in The Flash. But, yeah, I mean, there's talk of Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, the Cyborg stuff that was going on with Ray Fisher and him being written out, all that kind of stuff. There's Cyborg. Then you have Reverse Flash, and a lot more. They were even talking about the potential of having Nick Cage's unreleased Superman, who he was supposed to be in the film Superman. Superman Lives by Tim Burton back in the 90s, which got scrapped prior to being filmed. They were saying that he may even pop up. So there's so many rumors out there. And the truth, you're right. That may be putting a lot of people into panic mode. However, it could make sense. Cameos work if they're done right. Affleck is in a cameo. He's cast in the movie for a role. He'll be probably given, I predict, probably at least 5 minutes of screen time, if not more, but at least 5 minutes. Keaton, if he's in it, from what I've heard, he's in it. And what I've heard is that he is kind of the middle part of that movie. He'll have more time on screen than Affleck would, because he's the one that actually helps Barry figure out what's going on in the movie and bring it all back. But these other cameos can simply be visions. You see something. Think of remember the ending of I think it was the first season of CW's Flash, where he's running through the Speed Force back in time. And you see through the Speed Force all these different times in history and everything. Think of something like that, but cooler, but better. And I think that's what a lot of these cameos are going to end up being in The Flash. It's shocking to me that people don't understand that yet, that cameos are not roles. That doesn't mean that they're going to be on screen for the entirety of the film. I would love to see Brandon Routh pop up as the Kingdom Come Superman in this. I would love to see actually Grant Gustin's Flash show up in the Flash movie. But I wouldn't want it for anything more than maybe 30 to 60 seconds, because where's the... It becomes a distraction at that point. Who's going to pop up next? So you don't want too many, and you don't want it too long. And I don't think they're going to mess it up. I trust what they're going to do with this. There's that bullcrap thought or rumor. I don't know what it was. I think it was just a fanfic that popped up on social media yesterday, where the person was trying to play it off as, look, this is what the story is going to be. They were trying to play it off that the Flash movie is going to rewrite all of the DCEU, where it's going to go back in time. Steve Trevor won't die. That means that the events of Wonder Woman 84 don't happen. The events of Batman vs. Superman don't happen because Flash goes back and warns Bruce of this. And it's crazy. I get that there's some people that would like to see that happen, but the wrong move by DC and Warner Brothers would be to erase the past. And I said this a few weeks ago. DC needs to embrace what they've done so far. That has been their biggest issue to this point, is they have refused to embrace what has been created. They're always, oh, we got to go over here. Oh, we got to go over here. Oh, crap, this didn't work. Over here. Oh, crap, we got to go over here. They're always being so reactive to fan reception. And I get that. They're in a business. They need to make money. But they also need to allow the process to play out. And yeah, I am talking about the Snyderverse more so than anything, because in my eyes, and look, my editor-in-chief, the guy who runs Spoilerverse.com, John Horsley, great guy, has an awesome podcast, Spoiler Country. Make sure you check it out. But he and I get into debates all the time about Superman. I wrote an article, and then I made a video called The Quintessential Superman. Check it out on my YouTube. Find the article. We get into debates all the time about Superman, especially Henry Cavill's Superman. And I know for a fact, and I understand where he comes from and where his complaints and issues are with the character development that Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill were taking with the character. But I know for a fact, had Man of Steel come out in 2013, and we would have gotten the final piece of Zack Snyder's arc this year, the reception would be much greater to what Snyder was making. Because as you see with what's going on, Snyder was slightly ahead of his time in the way that he made his movies. They were a lot darker. They were more down to earth. They portrayed a message. They really did a lot that was different than what we were used to in superhero films. People weren't ready for it. But if Warner Brothers and DC would have just pushed through and said, you know what? We signed Zack to do this. We brought him on for his vision. We saw his vision. We brought him on to do it. Yeah, we see the fan reception. These movies aren't losing money. Man of Steel did not lose money. Batman vs. Superman did not lose money. Did it make as much as they wanted? Maybe not. But it was not losing them money. So, push forward. Justice League. Had it been under Snyder, Justice League, I don't think would have lost money. I don't believe it would have lost money. What do we got here? Shun Life. Grant has been my favorite Flash since they added him in the CW. Look, Grant Gustin did a fantastic job, or has done a fantastic job as the Flash. My issue with the CW shows, they became too soap opera-ish. They became too teenage soap opera-ish. They now feel like episodes of like 90210 or Dawson's Creek or something like that. Because to me, they've gotten away from the superhero aspect of the shows and of the characters. And that's what I go for. I want to see the spectacle. I know that they have over in the Berlanti verse over at CW, they have this, you have to have your heart, humor, and heroism, the 3 H's, the heart, humor, heroism, something like that, and heart, maybe 4 H, something like that. Either way, they focused too much on the others than the heroicness. And they're also too long of seasons. 20, 21, 22 episodes, I think, are just too long for what they do there. You shorten it down to about 12 to 15. I think that they could tell better stories, faster, more secluded, more character-driven stories than what they've done. So while, yeah, Grant has done a great job with The Flash, just like the guy who played Green Arrow, Stephen Amell, did a fantastic job as Arrow. Brandon Routh, fantastic job as Adam, and then not Nightmare, but Kingdom Come Superman, all that kind of stuff. I think it's all been fantastic. The casting has been absolutely phenomenal over the CW, but the writing, the pacing, that's what's gotten to me. And it's unfortunate. It really is, because I think they could have done an amazing, amazing job had they stuck to more of the heroics than the humor and the heart and the other crap that they do throughout the show. Like I said, it really feels like a soap opera is what it feels like. It really does. But yeah, guys, I don't know what else there's to talk about. Oh, that's right. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Thank you. All of you who are watching, who have watched, thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for hitting like. I love it so much. We hit over 100 subscribers just a few days ago, or actually January 1st. I was shooting for January 1st to hit 100 subscribers, and I did. I got it. Thank you so much. Now we're still building from there. It's amazing. Thank you so much for all of that. But please, keep watching, keep liking those videos. Some cool things are happening. I've gotten some new software I'm using, different ideas I have now mulling around my head. This podcast has turned more into a YouTube channel than a podcast. Maybe if Colton is able to get back on the show, we'll get back more to the podcast aspect of it. And I plan on doing podcast shows as well, interviews, and so on. I know that I had planned on getting Sean O'Connell back on the show to talk about the release of Snyder Cut book after it's released. You can check out the first show I did with him a few months ago back in July, but it's audio only, so you have to find that over on Spotify or Google Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, whatever it is. So, but thank you all for that. J House Comics, happy birthday, bro. Thank you so much, J House. Guys, check out J House Comics, amazing guy. That's the great thing about all this. And I do have to credit the Snyder Cut community. The Snyder Cut community has really introduced me to some amazing people. And I cannot be more thankful for meeting these people. Here's another one right here. The Nicotina Show. What's up, Robert? What's going on, Nicotina? Another great person, great channel. It's because of the Snyder Cut family that I've met these people. And I didn't think that I would get to have as much fun as I am doing what I'm doing on YouTube. And that's all it is for me. It's fun. I like doing it. I love, and don't get me wrong, I do get a little high when I start to see all these messages pop up on the side. It gives you a little high. It does. Smash that like button, everybody. Hit subscribe. But I also get a little bit of a high whenever I see the views on my YouTube channel going up for certain videos. It's phenomenal. I love seeing it, and I can't thank you all of you who do watch. I can't thank you enough for what you're doing. So please just keep watching and sharing. And everybody that I've met throughout, this Snyder Cut movement, it's amazing. What this movement has done for people is just phenomenal, because people are so stuck on the aspect, oh, we got this movie. there's also the other things that it's done. Now, the great things with AFSP has been phenomenal. But it seems like every time I go on social media, on Twitter, or I jump onto a YouTube channel that I really like watching, I see these other people popping up. And they're like, look, if it wasn't for the Snyder Cut movement, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for the movement, I wouldn't have friends that I have now. It's just been a phenomenal ride so far. And it's not over yet, guys. The ride ain't over yet. There's so much more to come. I'm building this channel as best as I can. So I'm going to keep pushing. Make sure, my channel, let me pull it up here for you guys, because I want to show you what I'm doing over there. That's what I want to do. All right. I'm going to show you guys because I think it's cool. I like it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you will. But over there, look, got 111 subscribers. Pretty awesome. But my latest video from yesterday got 148 views, and that's not a crazy amount, but it's one of those things, like I said, you just get a little bit of a high when you start to see that number get over 100. But then you see some of my other videos, 620, 620, 620. My average is around 20 views, it seems. But my free talks are what my free talks are. They're where I sit down in the car on my way home from work. I talk about what's going on in the pop culture world. That's what free talk is. I will take fan questions on there as well. So keep in mind, make sure you look out for that. Shooting the Sith is my premier Star Wars show for Bridging the Geekdoms and the Spoilerverse. I talk about all things Star Wars. I'm terrible at reviewing shows. So like I was trying to review The Mandalorian. I'm not good at reviewing shows because it just takes so much time to do that. So I'll review shows here and there, but I do like to discuss and dive into the Star Wars universe as in a whole, and that's what Shooting the Sith is. That's what it is. It's about sitting down, discussing things. My latest episode, Retcon the Sequels, I sat down with Mike from Misery Point Radio. It's a fantastic show covering music. Mike and I sat down and we talked about the likelihood and should they even retcon or reboot the sequels of sorts, because that was a heavy topic of discussion lately. So we talked about that. That's Shooting the Sith. Definitely go check that out. We got the Fandom Vibe, which is brought to us in part by my buddy, Deej Penhollow. Deej Penhollow, I can't thank him enough for me being where I'm at today, because he was doing a podcast called Nerd Talkalypse Podcast back in like 2017. And I just started out podcasting, and he kind of helped me get my feet in the water, got me pushed in there. It was like, here, you got to swim, man. If you don't learn to swim, you're going to sink. And he helped me out with all that. And it was amazing. And the Fandom Vibe name is brought to us from him. And this portion of my channel, the Fandom Vibe, is where we're going to sit down and just talk about one specific aspect of something. And as you can see, these two videos there are done by me. Understanding the Aquitas design and the quintessential Superman. Two videos I think any Snyder fan should check out. They're both fantastic. So yeah, check them out. Hit that like button on them. Share them around, guys. That's what I want to see. We Are VR is brought completely by Deej Penhollow. He has become a huge fan of VR. He's now doing a VR podcast show. You can see a few of his videos on there right now. The other day, he just went through his top 20 VR games of 2020. Fantastic. Check it out. And then finally here, we got a play and talk. I'm a bit of a gamer. I'm not as avid of a gamer as I used to be. So what I decided to do is start playing video games and just talking about what's going on, whether it's in that video game, in the pop culture world, within video games, whatever it is. It's called Play and Talk. Come join me. Like the other day, I played NHL 20, and while I was playing NHL 20, I talked about the NHL, I talked about hockey. That's the whole idea behind it. So, find me on Twitch, which you can find my Twitch channel right up here. And this, maybe if I can get my mouse, right there. Right there's my Twitch channel. Follow me there. And then these here are just a few of the shows that I highly, highly recommend. Spoiler Country is the premier show of the Spoilerverse. You got Misery Point Radio, Lightcast Podcast, Nerdy in Many Ways, The Nicotina Show, ACS Universe, and so many others. Please check them out. They're some of my favorites. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Hold on, wait. got another thing here from Andrew. Will Toby and Andrew show up in Spider-Man 3? Kevin Feige said some casting rumors are true, some are not. Okay. I've been asked this quite a few times, and I'll put it out as best as I can. Now, when I hear something, when I hear some truth about it, I'll let you know. My Rumorverse posts, which I've covered a little bit of that. Let me see if I can find it here. I have heard Tobey Maguire is cast in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That is what I've heard. Now, I want to put a little caption here. The Rumorverse of the Spoilerverse is simply that. It is a Rumorverse. It is rumor. I'm not saying this is exclusive. I'm not saying that it is finalized. I'm saying, look, from what I've heard from different people, because I do talk to some people out there, believe it or not. I just don't want to be a scooper. But from what I've heard, Tobey Maguire is cast and will be in Doctor Strange. Does that mean he will be in Spider-Man 3? Possibly. Could he be in Doctor Strange because of the ramifications and what happens in Spider-Man 3? I don't know. I guess we're going to see. I do have a feeling that Andrew Garfield is going to show up. Sony has a huge desire to bring Andrew Garfield back into the fold of the Spider-Man universe. And remember, Spider-Man 3 is technically a Sony film. They're just doing it in partnership in conjunction with Marvel Studios for the MCU. They have a desire to bring Andrew Garfield back. I think he's going to show up in some form or fashion. There's reason why they're bringing back certain villains. Jamie Foxx as Electro, Alfred Molina as Doc Ock. There are reasons for that because of the significance and the role they played in previous Spider-Man films. So I think you need to realize that, and I think you need to understand that that is what's going on here. Will they show up? Look, I'm not going to give you a yes or no answer. I believe they will. But I have not heard enough information to believe that they will be. So hopefully that's enough for you, Andrew. I heard recently Toby deal is finalized and he'll come back because Marvel agreed to his terms. Look, here's the thing. Spider-Man 3 has been filming since November, okay? If a deal gets finalized of any sort after that start date, most likely it is a small cameo role that could have easily been written out or cut out of the film. So if Toby, if we're hearing, and because I heard the same thing, I heard that a deal, I think it was middle of December, a deal was finalized with Tobey Maguire, blah, blah, blah. I think it was Small Screen that actually brought that up. But here's the thing. If that's the case, it's most likely a cameo. It's not going to be any significant role because if they were already filming the movie, they have to have a script locked. And when I say a script has to be locked, they have to have the main characters, the main plots, A to Z. That has to be locked. Now, yes, rewrites happen through that process. It does happen from time to time. Happen with The Force Awakens, happen with Justice League. That kind of stuff does happen. It's rare, though. Most of the time, a script is shot, and then when they go back, they take a look and say, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go and maybe reshoot and change this up a little bit. So the fact that they were shooting the movie makes me believe that if Tobey Maguire truly signed some kind of deal in the middle of December, it's for something small in Spider-Man 3. One more from Andrew, and then I got to skedaddle here, guys. I feel with 2 Batmans returning in the Flash, Marvel was like, hey, let's do the multiverse idea, but with 3 Spider-Mans. Maybe. I mean, I don't know what their mindset was. I got to believe that there's always a reaction from the 2 studios. We sit there and we see Kevin Feige say things like, it's good to have the competition. It's good to see we want them to succeed. You know, they want DC to succeed. DC wants Marvel to succeed. It builds competition. But they're also reacting to each other. What works there? Oh, it'll work here. What's exciting over there? Oh, let's see if we can do it over here and make it exciting here. So it's a very good possibility, Andrew. I won't say that it's not possible. I think it's very possible that they heard that Keaton was going to show up and or Affleck, and they were like, you know what? Is there a way to squeeze them into this movie? However, Feige is one to have things planned out. And the fact that WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and now apparently Spider-Man 3 are all connected in some form or fashion, you have to believe that a lot of this was figured out prior to even WandaVision was filmed. And we didn't hear about this Keaton or Affleck stuff until this summer, which was after WandaVision was filmed. So could it be coincidence? Maybe. Could it be reactionary? Maybe. Could it be whatever? Who knows? But at this point, it is what it is, guys. Get excited. If we get 3 Spider-Mans in a movie, it's going to be phenomenal. Whether you like Andrew, Toby, or Tom, it doesn't matter. 3 Spider-Mans in a live-action movie from 3 different universes, fantastic. The Flash film, we're going to get 2 Batmen in the Flash movie. Possibly 3, maybe 4, who knows? Maybe they'll show some old footage of Adam West. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. I'm just getting excited because I want to see all this stuff. I think it'll be fantastic if we get all this stuff. And the bickering, I'm all for speculation, but the bickering and people getting mad at each other because, oh, Batman's going to be in this, Affleck that, or Keaton this, Keaton that. Just stop with the bickering. Just get excited. If it happens, awesome. If it doesn't, we are going to get an awesome movie either way. So, I just think that we got to move forward, get excited. And Marvel and DC are doing some big things, but I'm going to get out of here, guys. Like I said, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, me. Woohoo. Make sure, you jump over to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet and hit that subscribe button. It does me huge. I get so excited. When I see that ticker go up, I get excited. There was one day where I think it shot up like 10 and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. So just keep watching, keep liking, hit subscribe, all that jazz. Thank you all so much for watching because, I wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you all. And I will catch you later. I plan on doing a Star Wars show later this week. We'll go with that. If you're a big Star Wars fan, keep an eye out for that. With all that said, guys, I'll talk to you later.